Hello, Shorter College Campus. Today we are posting a video pointing out the contributions of 6 important women for the month of March, which is Women's History Month. Ilhan Omar, or Ilhan Omar, originally born in Mogadishu, Somalia. She's been in office since January the 2nd of 2017, and she was elected a second time, January the 3rd of 2019. She's a member of the U.S. House of Representatives from Minnesota's 5th District. She's an American politician and a member of the Democratic Farmer Labor Party. Before her election to Congress, Omar served in the Minnesota House of Representatives from 2017 to 2019, representing part of Minneapolis. Her congressional district includes all of Minneapolis and some of its suburbs. Nancy Pelosi. She is the 52nd Speaker of the House of Representatives. In 2007, she was elected the first woman to serve as Speaker of the House. For 33 years, Speaker Pelosi has represented San Francisco in California's 12th District in Congress. She has led the House Democrats for 16 years and previously served as the House Democratic Whip. In 2013, she was inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame at a ceremony in Seneca Falls. Under the leadership of Pelosi, the 111th Congress was heralded as one of the most productive Congresses in history by congressional scholar Norman Ornstein. And the Christian Science Monitor wrote, "Make no mistake, Nancy Pelosi is the most powerful woman in American politics and the most powerful Speaker of the House." Emily Dickinson. Emily Elizabeth Dickinson, born December the 10th, 1830, in Amherst, Massachusetts. She died May the 15th of 1886 in Amherst. She is an American lyric poet who lived in seclusion and commanded a singular brilliance of style and integrity of vision. With Walt Whitman, Dickinson is widely considered to be one of the 2 leading 19th century American poets. Emily Dickinson lived most of her life in seclusion. Her poems were published posthumously, meaning her poems were published after she died. Emily Dickinson's poetic style left a significant legacy on 20th century poetry. Wangari Maathai was an environmentalist, pro-democracy activist, and women's rights campaigner. She was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for efforts to prevent conflict through the protection of scarce resources. In 1940, she was born in Nairobi, Kenya in Africa. She obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in the Biological Sciences in 1964, a Master of Science degree from the University of Pittsburgh in 1966, and the University of Nairobi. She also obtained a PhD in 1971 in Germany and the University of Nairobi, where she taught veterinary anatomy, the first woman in East and Central Africa to earn a doctorate degree. Professor Maathai became chair of the Department of Veterinary Anatomy and an associate professor in 1976 and 1977, respectively. In both cases, she was the first woman to attain those positions in the region. In 1976, while she was serving in the National Council of Women, Professor Maathai introduced the idea of community-based tree planting. Aung San Suu Kyi, born June the 19th of 1945, she is a Burmese politician, diplomat, author, and 1991 Nobel Peace Prize laureate who served as the Counselor of Myanmar and the Minister of Foreign Affairs from 2016 to 2021. In other words, she was the Prime Minister of Myanmar from those years. She has served as the President of the NLD, the National League for Democracy, since 2011. She was the General Secretary from 1988 to 2011. She's played a vital role in Myanmar's transition from the military junta government to partial democracy in the 2010s. She graduated from the University of Delhi and the University of Oxford. She worked at the United Nations for 3 years. In the 1990 elections, the NLD won 81% of the seats in parliament, but the results were nullified as the military government refused to hand over power, resulting in an international outcry. She had been detained for years before the elections and remained under house arrest for almost 15 of the 21 years from 1989 to 2010, becoming one of the world's most prominent political prisoners. When she ascended to the office of state counselor, Aung San Suu Kyi drew criticism from several countries following Myanmar's inaction in response to the genocide of the Rohingya people and the refusal to acknowledge that Myanmar's military had committed massacres. Under her leadership, Myanmar also drew criticism for prosecutions of journalists. On February the 1st of 2021, Aung San Suu Kyi was arrested by the military during the 2021 Myanmar coup d'etat after the military declared that the November 2020 Myanmar general election results were fraudulent. Serena Jamica Williams, born September the 26th of 1981. She is an American professional tennis player and former number 1 in women's single tennis. She has won 23 Grand Slam singles titles, the most by any player in the open era, and the second most of all time behind Margaret Court. The Women's Tennis Association ranked Serena number 1 in the world in singles on 8 separate occasions between 2002 and 2017. She reached the number 1 ranking for the first time on July the 8th of 2002. On her 6th occasion, she held the ranking for 186 consecutive weeks, tying the record set by Steffi Graf. In total, she has been number 1 for 319 weeks, which ranks 3rd in the open era among female players, behind Graf and Martina Navratilova. Serena is widely regarded to be one of the greatest female tennis players of all time. She holds the most Grand Slam titles in singles, doubles, and mixed doubles combined among active players. She is also, together with her older sister Venus, the most recent player to have held all 4 Grand Slam women's doubles titles simultaneously.